If I asked you to picture a stereotypical scientist, you might imagine someone in a pristine white lab coat surrounded by clean, sterile conical flasks and beakers. The truth is, science isn't always so clean. In fact, sometimes it can be kind of, well, gross. So let me share with you 3 gross science experiments of 2018 and why they were done. One study, published in February in the journal Appetite, got people to drink toilet water, along with bottled and tap water, and rate its taste, temperature, texture, and smell. Ew. They also looked at how people's genetic predisposition to tasting bitter and their openness to new experiences affected their taste ratings. Okay, so what's really going on here? Obviously, people are not drinking straight toilet water. That would be unethical. Scientists were actually testing the taste of indirect potable reuse, or IDR water. It's basically wastewater that's been recycled. The idea being that drought-prone areas could have another source of potable water. Many studies have shown that IDR water is super clean and free from contaminants, thanks to a process called reverse osmosis. Basically, you're using pressure to keep contaminants and all that gross stuff on one side of the filter and push clean water through to the other side. But what we didn't know is how that recycled water tasted. What this study found is that people actually liked IDR water and bottled water better than tap water. And those who were better at tasting bitter things or were less open to new experiences disliked tap water the most. Study number 2. And scientists in Korea have been going around smelling people's bad breath. Why? So they could try and make a portable, sensitive detector for halitosis, or the condition known as chronically bad breath. It's usually a sign of infection and something that a mint or toothbrush doesn't fix. The sensor relies on a chemical called lead-2 acetate that turns brown in the presence of the main chemical culprit of bad breath, hydrogen sulfide gas. What researchers did is they mounted that chemical onto a 3-dimensional nanolattice that basically spread the chemical out and gave it more surface area so that it was super effective. The sensor could detect hydrogen sulfide levels down to around 400 parts per billion. That's about how much someone with halitosis has. So why not just go around sniffing people's breath instead? Why go to all this trouble? Well, dentists wanted an objective measure for halitosis that didn't rely on people's subjective interpretations of what was yuck or not. Finally, researchers from the Max Planck Institute in Germany and UC Berkeley in California have been going around digging up old rat bones to grind up. They found that by crushing up the bones and running them through a mass spectrometer, the scientists could figure out what the rats had been munching on before they died. Again, gross. Why do I want to know what kind of garbage or insects the rat has been munching on? Well, these aren't just any rats. They're ancient rats from archaeological dig sites across 7 islands in the Pacific, which spanned over 2,000 years. You see, the bones store carbon and nitrogen isotopes, which help researchers figure out the food availability of the time, and in turn, how human deforestation, hunting of native fauna, and development of agriculture affected the landscape of the Pacific over time. Basically, those gross little creatures gave us insight into some of the most recent human evolution. So, there you go. Just because something's gross doesn't mean it's not useful or good science. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Science Wrap. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!